Up next on U.S. Bank Business Watch, presented by the Business Courier. Has one man's gold rush turned into gold dust? A groundbreaking that will bring 3 communities together in one Cincinnati neighborhood. And transforming the urban core one neighborhood at a time. U.S. Bank Business Watch is next. Good morning and welcome to U.S. Bank Business Watch. I'm Peg Rasconi. On the Business Courier front page centerpiece this week, remember John Saylor's JS Golden Coin? Well, it seems the founder and former owner has gone from gold rush to gold dust. Saylor went from buying scrap gold from his front porch to opening 4 retail stores across Cincinnati.
We wanted to be at every corner of the tri-state. That was all, by having more stores, doing more volume, it will allow us to pay higher. And so, we really do pass the savings right on to our customers.
JS Golden Coin spent $10,000 a month for billboard ads and thousands more on TV commercials, turning it into a household name. It seems like a great American success story. In 2010, Saylor said JS Golden Coin had grossed $22 million and could top $75 million by the end of 2011. Today, Saylor and Nancy Hendricks, who bought the business from him, have seemingly disappeared. Robert Mendelson, a Cincinnati attorney who represented Saylor and Hendricks, said it's almost like the earth has swallowed them up. Well, it seems the two can't be located in the face of evictions, lawsuits, and more than $440,000 in combined court judgments. It's become a curiosity shared by creditors and attorneys who are left asking, where did all the money go? This is a fascinating story with a lot of intrigue and details that you will not want to miss in the Business Courier's print edition. Well, the Christ Hospital Health Network plans to open a medical center in Butler County. CEO Mike Keating told the Business Courier the facility could be built in Butler County within 2 to 3 years after getting required approvals. The project will likely involve an investment of tens of millions of dollars and create numerous jobs. Keating declined to specify the location where Christ Hospital plans to build. Mercy Health broke ground last week on a $71 million headquarters in Bond Hill. The 365,000 square foot building should open in spring of 2016.
Well, we consolidated the operations because it gave us an opportunity to become more effective and efficient in delivering health care to the communities that we serve. So we were able to bring individuals from 3 campuses, Springdale, Blue Ash, and Cincinnati into one location.
The building will provide offices for more than 1,000 employees. Another plot of land in Bond Hill may be put to new use. The Port of Greater Cincinnati Development Authority has struck a deal with the city of Cincinnati that would give the port $6 million to redevelop property, including the 14-acre U.S. Army Reserve training site. Now, under that multi-part deal, the city would lease the 400-space Fountain Square South parking garage that's under the U.S. Bank building and the Westin Hotel to the port for 30 years. The port would operate the garage and make $1.4 million in repairs. The city, in turn, would grant back that $6 million to the port to establish an economic development fund to use for projects benefiting the city. Final approvals are pending. One of our area's most successful commercial developers is also focused on the city's urban core. Model Group revitalizes urban neighborhoods and has completed more than $200 million in real estate development since 2001. The company ranks number 6 on this week's list of largest commercial developers.
Yeah, our mission is to transform neighborhoods, and we do that primarily by focusing on the urban core. So some of the projects I'm most excited about are right here in Pendleton. We have 2 more phases of Broadway Square. We're moving to Findlay Market. We're going to transform the 1800 block of Ray Street, and then we have Treveran Flats going on in Walnut Hills.
Smith has been with Model since graduating from college and worked his way up to CEO of the company. Another new option for renters is now accepting leases. One Rookwood at Rookwood Exchange in Norwood won't open until March, but potential renters are already taking tours. The project has 127 units and is part of a larger mixed-use development. The apartments are drawing interest from young professionals to empty nesters who want to be in the heart of the $100 million development along Interstate 71. Well, college basketball is back, and Xavier University basketball fans are in for some surprises when they go to watch the Musketeers this season. Xavier is adding a craft beer area, a gathering space for fans, a sit-down dining space, and making concession improvements, not to mention a unique bobblehead giveaway tomorrow night. The first 3,000 fans will get a Sister Rose Ann Fleming bobblehead courtesy of Mason-based corporate uniform maker Cintas Corporation. Fleming was the academic advisor for Xavier Athletics for 27 years and just released a book called Out of Habit, My Life as Xavier's Unlikely Point Guard. I hear tickets are still available for that game. Well, downtown Cincinnati's Contemporary Arts Center is also planning a makeover. The CAC announced a $1 million redesign of its lobby, a project that includes the addition of a cafe where its gift store now sits. The museum's home on 6th Street was designed by the famed architect Zaha Hadid and opened in 2003. More than 10 years later, there are plans to make the public entrance more inviting and lively for visitors. Demolition will start on January 6th. The museum will remain open through the construction. Movies filmed in our area brought in $46 million to the local economy. That's the bottom line, according to the Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Film Commission and the University of Cincinnati Economic Center. The three major projects that filmed here, motion pictures Carol and Miles Ahead and the A&E show Renovation Row, also created 4,000 jobs directly or indirectly. Now, all of that sounds rosy, but it is important to dive into these numbers a little bit deeper. Business Courier reporter Chris Wederick did just that, and he joins editor Rob Dahlmeyer in the studio to tell us what he found. Chris and Rob.
Peg, thank you. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm just getting done crying from your story about Hollywood and movies, and we just had Kate Blanchett was just filming a scene right outside our office this summer. She actually looked at me. It was a great day for me. You're telling me, however, that these subsidies that Hollywood gets to make movies in places like Cincinnati don't always make sense. So talk a little bit about the two sides of the coin here.
Well, we looked at the numbers in the study that the University of Cincinnati Economic Center put out, and it's not that there isn't an economic impact, and it's not that it's not great, but a lot of we measure these things in two different ways. One is how much money is spent with businesses, how much is spent, in restaurants and hotels and, all the ancillary businesses that make money from these movies. But we also look at it in terms of the government gave out a certain amount of money to get these productions here. Did the government get that tax money back? And the answer is no, and it's almost universally no across the country. So we're not unusual in this. We were kind of late. Ohio was kind of late to the game in terms of doling out these tax credits to these film companies that come in, and there's an alert to it. But the fact of the matter is, when you look at the investment, it doesn't stand up when it's compared to an investment like the streetcar or the Martin Luther King Jr. I-71 interchange. Those are projected to put the money that the government spends right back into its coffers after the project is built and stuff starts sprouting up around it.
Yeah, I mean, emotional votes or emotional decisions, case in point, 10 years ago with the Bengals stadium and the Red Stadium, that didn't make a whole lot of financial sense at the time. It makes a whole lot less financial sense now, but that was not the way people made that decision. They just wanted their team.
They wanted their team.
Yeah, and I think the same thing is at work here. It is surprising a bit that, we're a Republican-controlled state. Republicans not known for throwing their money around, also not the best friends of Hollywood.
Right.
So it is a bit interesting.
It's totally ironic. I mean, the Hollywood, the fundraisers, the people in California who raise money, they almost exclusively do it for Democrats, and they kind of look with contempt on Republicans. I mean, this is a political party that has talked about violence and sex in movies and criticize what these guys are doing. So it is funny that they're throwing money at Hollywood and Hollywood is coming in and everyone's kind of excited about it. And the film community will point out that when these films come to Cincinnati, there are people in the community with experience, doing jobs behind the camera, that are not making millions of dollars, and those people are employed, and that's a good thing. And they really do hope that something permanent can kind of sprout up around this whole thing. And they may be right, but they have to realize that, I think 40-some other states are trying to do the exact same thing.
Right. Well, it's a great story, and thanks for being here this morning.
No problem.
Peg, back to you.
All right, thanks, Rob and Chris. Still a lot of fun to have movie stars in town. Well, up next on U.S. Bank Business Watch, what's hot on the Business Courier website? Food. We'll tell you about a new restaurant and awards for some old restaurants. And you can start planning now for an easy trip to the Big Easy. We'll explain. Some news now that's getting a lot of attention on the Business Courier website and social media sites. The Cincinnati, USA Regional Chamber of Commerce recently relocated from offices in the Courier Tower to 3 East 4th Street. Here are a few photos of the new digs. To see more, you can visit the Business Courier website. Dewey's Pizza is opening a new restaurant in Anderson Township. It'll be located along Beachmont Avenue at Witt Road. Core Resources is expected to break ground on the project in the next 30 days and open in the summer of 2015. 4 Cincinnati steakhouses are among the best in the nation, according to Open Table Diners. Carlo and Johnny, Jag Steak and Seafood, Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, and The Precinct landed on the list of 2014 Diners' Choice Awards winners for the top 100 steakhouses in America. A $25 million residential project is coming to the Uptown area of Cincinnati. Uptown Rental Properties and North American Properties are partnering on the huge project, which will be located on property bordered by William Howard Taft, Euclid, East Corey, and Eden Avenues. 101 East Corey will add 108 apartment units and a 2-story parking garage and include 8 townhomes. Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport will be among the first to get flights to Allegiant Air's newest destination, New Orleans. CVG is one of 4 airports that will get flights to the Big Easy. The destination will be a seasonal at first. Flights will begin February 4th and run through May 5th to capture some of the traffic around Mardi Gras. In this morning's U.S. Bank Economic 360, we're talking Santa Claus, not the jolly one with the beard. We're talking the Santa Claus rally that typically occurs every December. U.S. Bank Vice President and Senior Portfolio Manager Mike Denneman joins Business Watch producer Kelly Leon in the studio.
Thanks, Peg. Mike, I can always count on you to have your tie on to match our topic. You have your Santa tie.
Yeah, I'm a little bit early with it. It is obviously obnoxious, but I thought at least it's on topic.
I think it's lovely to talk about the Santa Claus rally.
Right.
What is it?
Right. So we talk periodically on the show about the seasonal impact on the market. Most recently we talked about October and its reputation as a volatile month, which certainly it was this time around.
Right.
But we also mentioned that the fourth quarter is among the strongest periods of the time of the year for the market. And a lot of that has to do with the so-called Santa Claus rally, which, as you can probably guess, has to do with the market rising throughout December. So the name obviously is whimsical, but the reality is that December is among the strongest periods of the time of the year for the market, so it fits.
So what causes the Santa Claus rally?
There are a lot of theories out there. I don't think anyone's ever pinpointed for sure. One of the more logical theories is that it's just a very busy time for the market. Traders and investors are making a lot of transactions, trying to get portfolios squared away by year end. They're doing a lot of tax planning. So the thought is that all this activity helps to drive the market higher. Others will say that it's linked into holiday shopping, that as retail spending increases, that fuels the economy, which in turn drives the market higher.
Yeah.
And then others still say that it's no more complicated than market psychology or investor sentiment, that traders and investors, like everyone else this time of year, are a bit more festive, and that translates over into the stock market. So bottom line is, it happens, we know that it happens, but no one's entirely sure exactly why.
So what's it looking like for this year, for 2014? Santa Claus rally happening?
this is where I sound like a little bit of a Grinch.
No!
It's not clear that the market's primed for a rally this December. And if we think about what happened in October, the market fell very quickly. But it was a short-lived drop, about a week or so, and then the rally started. And it's been a very strong rally. We've gained about 10% over the past month. So not only have we regained everything that we lost, but we've in fact gone even higher still and are setting record highs almost every day now. So that's great. Obviously, we like that the market has bounced back, but indications are maybe it's come a little bit too far too quickly and that the rally might be losing some steam. So not sure how much we have left in the tank for December. So again, good that the market has rebounded, but it might be a case of Santa having come a little bit early this year.
Well, we have a few more weeks yet to go. You'll watch it
Hopefully
for us and
I'm
let us
wrong.
know. Yes. Rarely are you wrong, but hopefully this time. All right, Mike, thank you so much, and thanks to U.S. Bank for all that you do for
Thanks,
us.
Kelly.
Back to you, Peg.
All right, thanks, Kelly and Mike. And still to come on U.S. Bank Business Watch, it is definitely grilled cheese and tomato soup kind of weather. We will talk with two of the founders of the local restaurant chain that's serving up that comfort food as they make big plans to celebrate their 5th year in business. And congratulations to Chad Burke, a project manager at GBBN Architects, another of our 40 Under 40 honorees. In this morning's Business Insight, Ton and Cheese started as a seasonal grilled cheese stand at the skating rink on Fountain Square in 2009. Co-founders True Quackenbush and Corey Ward walked away with $35 in sales on their first day. Now, as the grilled cheese empire approaches its 5th anniversary on December 3rd, the company's 17 stores bring in $1 million a month. And they have big plans for the future, including food trucks and sandwich delivery. True and Corey started the business along with their wives, their better halves. Corey Ward and his wife Jenny Ratchford are in the studio this morning with Business Watch producer Kelly Leon. Guys.
Thanks, Peg. I'm so excited to have you guys on because I love your product.
Thanks, Kelly.
It is delicious. Let's start. Tell me a little bit about your beginnings, because you may not be the textbook example of, if I want to start a business, do it like they did, even though you were successful. You didn't have a business plan. This was how did it start?
Yeah, it was just it started as an idea, something that I've always been very entrepreneurial minded. Kind of always doing my own thing. Even like in middle school, I was the kid like running to the store, buying a pumpkin for $1, painting it, and selling it to the neighbors for like $10. So it's an idea of always wanting to do something. And at the time, me and Jenny were living downtown. There was a lot of, as when the city really started to come back to life, there were a lot of events on the square we would head down to, and it was always that sort of like, do we go home to eat before we head down there, or do we just go down there? And a lot of times we'd end up down there, there'd be no food, so we would end up sitting at a restaurant instead of doing what we wanted to do once we were down at the square. So we just started talking about, wouldn't it be great to be able to do food down there?
Oh my gosh.
And we started talking about different ideas. We reached out to Jen and True Quackenbush and just started talking about what we could realistically do on the square.
And so why grilled cheese?
Well, we were really inspired by, the family tradition of visiting downtown Fountain Square and visiting the ice skating rink during the holidays. We envisioned families with cups of soup in their hand, a warm toasty grilled cheese, and just getting warmed up and full bellies and ready to spend their day out on the ice skating rink. And we just thought, it's easy, it's simple, it's affordable for us, as well as, selling to our customers. It was just the perfect choice.
So literally from concept to putting it into action, this was a really small window.
Very short window of time, yes.
And I mean, you've been on Shark Tank. Tell me about that experience.
Shark Tank was a lot of fun. Tell a lot of people what you see on TV is really how it happens, down to they make you stand at the end of the hallway, they open the doors, and you start walking. And at that point, there's no cuts, there's no retakes, no one asks you to redo anything. And you kind of come out and you give your presentation. And a lot of people ask us how long was our presentation, and once you're in there, it's really kind of hard to keep track of time. But I would say that we were probably in there maybe 20 minutes, a half hour, but I know they've had people go as long as like 2 or 3 hours.
And what was the result?
On the show, actually at one point on the show we had 4 of the 5 sharks were in on the deal. We walked away from the show with a deal with Mark Cuban and Barbara Corcoran for $600,000 for 30% of the company. And then sort of after the show we worked through the due diligence process. Mark and Barbara both sent people to Cincinnati. They saw our stores here. We sent them down to Louisville to see our stores. Then at that point, like, all the lawyers started to come in. We started talking through stuff, and we just hit a point with Mark Cuban where we just had 2 very different ideas how to grow the company. He wanted us to grow in a more of a Chipotle route where all the stores were corporate owned, and that wasn't our intention. That's not what we went on the Shark Tank to ask for. So basically, to do what he wanted to do, we didn't ask for enough money, and we knew growing that route, we'd have to go back to them for more money, and we'd lose an even bigger hunk of the company. So we ended up actually just restructuring a deal just with Barbara, and we've been moving forward with her ever since, and it's been awesome.
And you're opening another new store downtown on Court Street as part of your fifth year anniversary, which is December 3rd. Tell me about that new store and what you have planned for the anniversary.
It's so exciting. I mean, to be able to see the drawings and the ideas that Corey had for his perfect version of what our store, what we really want it to be, come to life. It's happening right now at 125 Court Street. We hope to be open early next week. So we'll be closing down our very first #1 store and moving next door, and looking forward towards the future. The Founders Day and Tom and She Day, December 3rd, celebrating our 5th anniversary.
Awesome.
We'll have the mayor there. We'll be giving away free grilled cheese from 11:30 to 12:30, and we're really excited that the city wants to join with us in this celebration.
Did you ever think when you had this idea, people on the square sipping some soup, really, that it would be this?
I think he did. I think he knew all along.
Yeah, I wouldn't have quit my job if I didn't think we could do this.
Well, congratulations. We're glad you're here in
Thank you.
Cincinnati. We hope you continue to grow. And if you ever want to come back and make grilled cheese and soup for our team here on Business Watch, we would welcome you with open arms.
I think we could definitely do that.
We can do that.
Well, thank you, and good luck with the anniversary celebration.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kelly.
All right,
Thank
back
you.
to you, Peg.
All right, thanks. And I know what I want for lunch. Well, thank you for joining us this morning for U.S. Bank Business Watch. We'll be back next Sunday and every Sunday morning at 6:30 here on Local 12 and at 10 a.m. on the CW. For more business news all week long, you can visit the Business Courier online and sign up for daily emails and follow on Twitter and Facebook. The address is cincinnatibusinesscourier.com. I'm Peg Rasconi. Have a great Sunday.